What's happening, everybody? Jake Rockwell here with the Rockwell Group. I want to talk to all of those agents out there that are really wanting to increase their number of listings and talk a little bit about how I go through a listing appointment. This is not preparation of the listing appointment, but going into the appointment once I knock on that door for my appointment. And so I've been in the business for about 10 years. I was doing some coaching yesterday and we were talking about this, so I thought I'd do a video for our YouTube channel, Pro Real Estate Teams. If you can, hit the subscribe button if you want more information, more content to share with you, your team, or learn for success in the real estate business. So my process for going on a listing appointment basically starts with obviously knocking on the door. And yes, I've already prepared my CMA and I've got listing paperwork with me, but the moment they answer, my first step is to start building a rapport, start building the relationship. I've got a folder in hand, I've got a clipboard, a notepad in hand every single time. I always have listing paper on hand, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But basically, first thing I do is build rapport. I'm looking at the pictures on the walls, trying to find connection with that person. And then I ask to do a tour. I want to do a tour of the entire house, inside and out, so that I can find out more about the property. I want to focus in on the great things about that property and make sure I'm paying attention to what the homeowner thinks are the great things about that property, and I'm busy taking notes. I asked, do you mind if I take some notes about your property? And I'm taking these notes now on that initial walkthrough for two reasons. One, I'm super efficient. I don't like to waste time, and once I get the listing, I don't want to have to come back and do that to take notes to produce the listing and the marketing remarks and so forth. So I do it all right then. Plus it shows the homeowner that you're showing high interest in their property and you're taking notes about everything they're talking about, everything that you see and so forth. So I'm going through the property, taking notes, and once that's done, I simply sit down with them. I've got my CMA either on my screen or printed, full color, and we start talking about the comparables and the market and the stats and where the market's at right then. I start looking at the properties. Obviously, I've done a CMA before looking at the house, so it's not necessarily fully dialed in because we don't fully know what comps to use until we see the house, especially on the inside. And so when we're going through the comparables, we're looking at those houses, and I'm looking at, hey, here's a house that sold for this much. It's got a bit more square footage, but it doesn't have the views that your house has. Maybe I'll see a house that has that doesn't really belong in that CMA, and I'll mention now, say, hey, I did this prior to seeing your house. This house really doesn't fit. It's not nearly the quality of your house, so I'm going to remove that, with the intention that after I leave that appointment, I'm going to revise that CMA, that market analysis, and again, it's a competitive market analysis, not a comparative market analysis. Comparative market analysis uses the past comps, and it doesn't take into consideration what's going in the market, what's going on in the market right now. And as you all know, we have a little bit of a shift going and things have changed a bit. And so we have to look at what's going on in the market. What are the existing homes on the market doing? What are they priced at? How long are they sitting? What's the prices doing in that market? And obviously everyone's market's different. So make sure you come to that appointment prepared and knowing what you're talking about. That's what homeowners want. They want to know that you've got confidence and you know your stuff. So going through the CMA, obviously we're going through comparables, talking about the market, the stats, and then we talk a lot about our team and how we're going to help them make the process as easy as possible. How we're going to show them how we're going to get the highest price possible in the shortest amount of time and with the least amount of bumps along the way. And some of the selling points that we have as a team is that we have a large team and we have more resources than any other single agent can possibly have when it comes to marketing those listings. And if you're a solo agent, leverage your brokerage, leverage what they offer and the reach that they have. It doesn't have to always be just you. Leverage what you've got surrounding you to help show that person what you can do for them. Obviously with a team, a big selling feature of the team is we have someone on the phones 12 hours a day waiting for buyers to call in or to respond to our advertising so that they can set up an appointment to show your house or show their house. And with a single agent, a little bit harder to do unless you've got help. If you leave town, make sure someone's covering it. So we're selling the fact that we have a huge team of people that all for the price of one. So going through the marketing and showing them what we're doing to get exposure to their house and talking about the process, how to prepare the house. I'll go through room to room and let them know in an honest way what they need to do to change those rooms, to stage them, to declutter, clean windows, whatever it is. And then I was talking a little bit about the listing paperwork. I always take listing paperwork, and here's why. A lot of us do paperwork digitally now. However, I like to have it printed just in case we can get the listing signed right then. And here's the philosophy behind it. When someone's decided to sell their house, they've got all these things that they're gonna do. And one of them is find a real estate agent, right? And if we have the listing paper ready, there's a chance that they may want to go ahead and get that out of the way and check that box off their list. Check that off their list. And once they've checked the box off their list of finding a realtor to help them sell their house, now they can move on to all the other to-dos that they need to do. But if we don't have listing paperwork in hand at the time of the listing, there's no way to sign a listing right there unless you're pulling it up on your computer and doing it digitally, which is the same thing. But if you don't do that, now you've opened up a portion of time that the rest of that day, the next day, while they're deciding or while you're preparing the listing paperwork, they're talking to all their friends and their family about selling their house and how they met you as a real estate agent to help them sell their house. What happens is other people get in their ear about other agents, about other companies that they should probably talk to. Hey, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. And that opens up that door to where, because that box wasn't checked, they start thinking that they might want to talk to another 2 or 3 agents before they commit. Where if they would have signed that listing right then and there, it's just off. Hey, I've already found an agent. We're good. I need to figure out where I'm going to find moving boxes, where I'm going to find a new house to buy. So anyway, always take the listing paperwork. That's my process, for my short process of going through on a listing appointment. Sold over 2,000 homes in the last 10 years, done over $1 billion in business. I coach agents on helping them find success in the real estate business. And I can help you too. Again, hit subscribe and find more content that we're going to be putting out. And if I can help in any way, reach out to us. Thanks. Have an awesome day. See ya.